Phnom Penh. If you came here expecting another Bangkok or Pattaya, stop right there, because that's exactly why so many people completely misunderstand this city from the very first night. Phnom Penh nightlife doesn't work like Thailand. There are no obvious rules, no giant neon districts guiding you around, and half the time the city feels like it's hiding its nightlife on purpose. One street looks completely dead, then 2 corners later everything changes. That's why tourists either love Phnom Penh or leave disappointed and confused. So in this video, I'm breaking down how Phnom Penh nightlife really works in 2026, where the bar streets actually are, how the zones connect, what tourists constantly overlook, and why this city feels completely different after dark, including one part almost everybody misreads at first. And once you understand it, the whole nightlife map suddenly makes sense. If Cambodia is on your radar this year, drop a comment below. Let's get into it. It's not a secret that I love Phnom Penh. Not because it's perfect, honestly, far from it. But because this city still has that raw, unfiltered Southeast Asia energy that's disappearing from a lot of places. And today, Phnom Penh might actually be the closest thing to the vibe I remember when I first came to this part of the world years ago. But that doesn't mean the city stayed frozen in time. Phnom Penh nightlife has changed a lot over the past few years. Some areas became cleaner, some became rougher, some completely changed their identity. There are more tourists returning now, more competition between venues, more places trying to modernize, copy concepts from abroad, or reinvent themselves completely. And honestly, I think that's a good thing. Because the biggest change isn't really the prices, even though inflation definitely reached nightlife too. The biggest change is mindset. These days, Phnom Penh feels a bit more intentional, a bit more organized, less built around fantasy, and more around atmosphere, social energy, and experience. But compared to Thailand, Cambodia still feels much rawer, less polished, less predictable, and sometimes a lot more confusing for first-time visitors. Because what hasn't changed is just as important. There's still no obvious structure here. No giant nightlife machine guiding tourists from one place to another. Phnom Penh doesn't really explain itself to you. You have to slow down, observe, and understand how the city actually moves after dark. And if you come here expecting Bangkok or Pattaya, you'll probably misunderstand Phnom Penh completely. Not because the nightlife is worse, just because it plays by completely different rules. And personally, I think that's exactly what makes this city interesting. If you've been to Phnom Penh before, let me know in the comments, what changed the most in your opinion? One thing that immediately confuses people in Phnom Penh: there's no giant nightlife district with a famous name attached to it. No walking street, no Nana Plaza, no obvious tourist zone telling you where to go. And that's exactly why so many people misunderstand Phnom Penh nightlife. Because the nightlife here isn't random, it's actually concentrated into a tight street grid that only makes sense once you understand the flow. And once you do, you realize Phnom Penh is one of the most walkable nightlife setups in Southeast Asia. Most people start around Street 104, good warm-up street, relaxed pace, easy entry point, then the grid starts tightening. Street 110 sits right in the flow. Street 118 is smaller and compact, easy for quick hopping. Street 130 feels slightly calmer and less intense. And eventually most people end up on Street 136, usually the busiest and most visible street in the whole area. The point where first-timers finally think, okay, now I get it. But what makes Phnom Penh interesting isn't just the main streets. It's the side alleys, the hidden connectors, the way quiet streets suddenly change after midnight. Tourist-heavy spots blend into local areas. One block feels relaxed, the next feels completely different. That's why nightlife here rewards movement. Some nights work best entirely on foot. Other nights, hopping between districts with tuk-tuks completely changes the experience. And once you understand the street logic, Phnom Penh suddenly becomes very easy to navigate. I also added the custom nightlife map below so you can actually see how these areas connect before exploring them yourself. And now that you understand the map, let's talk about the types of venues you'll actually encounter here after dark. So now that you understand the streets themselves, what kind of nightlife can you actually expect here? And honestly, Phnom Penh has evolved a lot. A few years ago, the scene felt much simpler, more repetitive, more predictable. But now, venues are experimenting more, trying different concepts, creating different atmospheres for different types of people. And that's what makes Phnom Penh interesting today. Because the nightlife here isn't built around one single experience. It's layered. You've got classic hostess-style bars, still the backbone of the city's nightlife scene. Cheap beers, pool tables, relaxed social atmosphere. Usually casual, friendly, and far less intense than what many first-timers expect. Then you've got KTV-style venues. These are more private, more group-oriented, and especially popular with Asian clientele. Completely different energy from regular bar streets. Some places look simple from outside, but operate very differently once you step in. Then there are venues moving toward a more upscale, gentleman's club direction. And honestly, this is where Phnom Penh changed the most over the last few years. Better lighting, louder music, VIP sections, more polished interiors, more attention to atmosphere and presentation. Places like the Factory show that evolution really well. But what I personally like most about Phnom Penh Nightlife is that despite all these changes, it still feels local, raw, unfiltered, a little unpredictable sometimes, not overly commercialized, not completely manufactured for tourists. There's still personality here. And depending on your mood, you can bounce between rooftop bars, hidden lounges, riverside hangouts, sports bars, live music venues, or late-night street clusters, sometimes all in the same night. That versatility is what keeps Phnom Penh interesting. And honestly, I've walked these streets more nights than I probably should admit. A lot of the places worth knowing, and honestly, the places worth avoiding too, are the kinds of things we usually discuss deeper inside the lazy Nomad VIP telegram. Not just content either. More like travelers sharing real experiences, stories, updates, and lessons learned on the ground. When people think about bar streets, they usually imagine only bars. But that's not really how Phnom Penh works, and honestly, nobody explains this part properly. These streets are multi-purpose. Nightlife exists here, but it blends directly into everyday city life. And once you understand that layout, the whole area suddenly starts making sense. First, hotels. Right on or next to the bar streets, you'll find everything from cheap hostels to surprisingly solid mid-range hotels. And that's intentional. These areas are built for convenience. You can sleep, eat, and go out, all within walking distance. That's one of the reasons Phnom Penh Nightlife feels low effort once you understand how the city works. Second, restaurants and regular bars. A lot of visitors completely overlook this part. Mixed directly into the nightlife streets, you'll find Khmer food spots, international restaurants, casual sports bars, hidden cafes, and random expat hangouts that somehow never seem to close. Places like Ostro are good examples. Relaxed spots where you can slow down, eat something, and simply observe how the city moves before deciding where to go next. And honestly, Phnom Penh rewards patience. You don't need to rush the night here. Third, rooftop bars. A lot of people don't expect this either, but Phnom Penh has some surprisingly good rooftop spots overlooking the Mekong and Riverside Promenade. Completely different atmosphere, fresh air, city lights, a chance to reset before jumping back into the streets again. And finally, massage parlors. You'll see them everywhere around the nightlife grid. Some are completely straightforward. Others feel a bit more ambiguous from the outside. And honestly, that's part of Phnom Penh too. The city rarely explains itself clearly. The key here isn't fear, it's awareness. Not every place operates the same way, and making assumptions too quickly is usually where tourists get things wrong. And this is the part most people never really understand about Phnom Penh Nightlife. It's not just bars, it's an entire ecosystem layered together. Hotels, food, rooftops, nightlife, movement, street life, and different social circles all overlapping in the same few blocks. You can stay here, eat here, go out here, reset, observe, and move again, without ever really leaving the area. And honestly, that's why this part of Phnom Penh works so well. Once you understand the logic behind it, the city stops feeling chaotic and starts feeling surprisingly efficient. So, is Phnom Penh nightlife actually worth it? Honestly, that depends entirely on what you're looking for. If you came here expecting Bangkok-level spectacle, non-stop chaos, Phnom Penh will probably disappoint you. This city moves differently, slower sometimes, less polished, less obvious. But if you enjoy exploring instead of being guided, if you like cities that reveal themselves slowly, if you prefer atmosphere over spectacle, then Phnom Penh can become surprisingly rewarding. Because once you understand the logic behind the city, everything starts to click. Where to stay, where to start the night, when to move, when to slow down, which streets change after midnight, and which ones never really sleep. And that's why veteran travelers often end up loving Phnom Penh more than first-timers do. Not because it's better than Thailand, just different, rawer, more unpredictable, more human. For me personally, that's the appeal. Phnom Penh still feels real. And honestly, that feeling is becoming harder to find. Southeast Asia changes constantly, and Phnom Penh is no different. One venue disappears, another opens. One street suddenly gets busy again, while another goes quiet for months. And honestly, that's exactly why the lazy Nomad telegram exists. People inside share updated maps, venue changes, warnings, hidden spots, and real observations from cities all across Southeast Asia. Usually long before that information reaches YouTube videos or travel blogs. If you want access to that side of things, the link's below. And if this video helped you understand Phnom Penh a little better, hit like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tagging along with Lazy Nomad. Until our paths cross again in the neon-lit streets of Southeast Asia, keep exploring, but always keep it lazy. Good night, and see you on the next adventure.